Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Good evening and welcome. Guests, please clear the aisles and be seated so that we may begin the graduation ceremony for Boyd H. Anderson, class of 2021. We ask that this ceremony be treated with dignity and respect. We humbly request that every member of the audience abide by the following guidelines. Turn off all cell phones. Refrain from standing at any time during the ceremony unless otherwise noted in the program. Do not whistle, cheer, shout, or show disrespect during the graduation exercise. Abide by all CDC guidelines and keep facial masks on during the entire ceremony. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you stand as we begin with the presentation of the colors. Chanel Amos will sing the national anthem. Once again, please stand.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets rang clear, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you. Please be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the commencement exercises for the class of 2021. Allow me to present our platform guests. Please hold your applause until the end of the introductions. I am Marie Duperval, Boyd H. Anderson High School, Assistant Principal. On my right, Dr. Roslyn Osgood, Broward County School Board Chair. Dr. Valerie Wanza, Chief of School Performance and Accountability Officer. Mr. Todd LaPace, Cadre Director, School Performance and Accountability. Mr. James F. Griffin II, proud principal of Boyd H. Anderson High School. Ms. Linda Lopez, Boyd H. Anderson, Assistant Principal. Ms. Alexandra Reese, Boyd H. Anderson High School, Assistant Principal. Mr. Jonathan Edwards, Boyd H. Anderson High School, Assistant Principal. On my left, Ms. Jill Slazinski, Lauderdale Lakes Middle School Principal. Ms. Shanika Blue, Oriole Elementary Principal. Ms. Angela Andrade, Counseling Director and Senior Counselor. Selah Wilson, Salutatorian, Class of 2021. Jayla Johnson, Valedictorian, Class of 2021. Mart Dorsina, Senior Class President. Ms. Hasmarie Zapata, Senior Class Sponsor. And Major Thomas E. Johnson. We also want to acknowledge our elected officials from the City of Lauderdale Lakes, Lauderhill, and Tamarack. Please stand to be recognized. Now, to present his greeting for the class of 2021 is Broward County School Board Superintendent, Mr. Robert Runcie.
You are about to join a very special group. You are about to become a graduate of Broward County Public Schools. Your past school year has been historic. Your schools closed and opened, and you learned wherever Wi-Fi was the strongest. You spent days behind masks through the coronavirus pandemic. You lived through racial and political turmoil that has divided communities, through a severe economic downturn and job losses and an acrimonious presidential election. But the class of 2021 adapted and persevered through all of this and more. You worked hard. You continued to learn and achieve. You succeeded. You will write the next chapter in the history books. Given what I know about you, I believe the chapter will be full of stories of courage, grace, and hope that will fuel a stronger humanity. There's a story I want to share with you that I hope will help you put life's challenges in perspective and inspire you to make the most of the gift of life that you have been given. A teacher passed out a writing exercise to her students. It consisted of only a black dot in the center of a piece of white paper. She asked the students to write a few sentences to describe what they saw. Once everyone was finished, she collected the pages and started reading the writings to the class. They all wrote about the black dot, its size, and its position on the page. Some even got creative and described it as a portal to the universe. Regardless, all the comments were about the black dot. What was interesting is that no one wrote about the white part of the paper, that which is the foundation for the whole. Think about it. If there was not an entire field of white space, that black dot would never even be seen. What's the message here? You have so much to celebrate in life if you see the whole picture. The dark spots are very small when compared to everything we have in our lives, but they are the ones that occupy and pollute our mind. Don't focus on the dark spots, the disappointments, the anxious thoughts, the bad news, the sensational headlines, the social media feeds. Because when you do, you are taking your foundational good for granted, so much so that you forget to notice the greater blessings in your life. Take your eyes off the dot-sized frustrations and focus on the bigger and brighter part of your life. As you graduate, think about what is important to you, what you care about, what you want to prioritize, and where you may be able to make the greatest impact after high school. Find your own path to be successful. Our life is a gift. We will always have reasons to celebrate. Nature renewing itself daily on the planet we call home, the friends and family around us, music and art that we enjoy, rainbows and sunsets, our teachers, and your high school graduation. Enjoy each one of your blessings and each moment that life gives you. Congratulations to our amazing class of 2021 graduates. I am proud of you. You've overcome challenges and you've succeeded in becoming a graduate. I will always remember you. I love you and pray that your life's journey will lead you to true joy and happiness. Congratulations.
And now, it is my honor and pleasure to formally introduce someone who is a pillar of innovation in the Lauderdale Lakes community. He works diligently to bring new ideas and a culture of high expectation to Boyd H. Anderson High School. His fearless leadership empowers every member of his staff to achieve excellence in learning, teaching, and leading so that every student receives a high-quality academic experience and educational opportunities that prepares each and every scholar for life experiences beyond high school. Please welcome to the podium our visionary and transformational leader, Principal James F. Griffin II.
Good evening. Let's try that again. Good evening.
Good evening.
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
Sapase. What's up? So listen, first I would like to thank the School Board of Broward County for giving me an opportunity to be the principal at Boyd H. Anderson High School. Let's give them a round of applause. I would like to thank the administrative team. This is our first graduation, and it was a lot. So I want to thank them for the tireless work that they've done to bringing us all together here at Drive Pink Stadium. Let's give them a round of applause. I want to thank the guidance team and Ms. Andrade for all of the students that waited for the last minute to help us get you here with a black robe. Let's give them a big round of applause. So it sounds like we're at a funeral, but we're at a stadium. So let's try that again. Let's give Ms. Andrade a big round of applause. So actually my speech to you is very short because I'm doing an introduction. One of the things I wanted to say to you, I had an equation for life that I want to share with you. A mind is a terrible thing to waste. It begins with your beliefs, plus your relationships equal your success. See, it starts with what you believe in. And then your relationships, not with the person who's standing next to you, but your relationships with your mind, your body, and your soul. See, you're with your mind, body, and soul 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So the intimate conversation you have with your mind, body, and soul ultimately creates your focus of what you believe in and how you move throughout life. As I want to sit back and think about how to provide a speech for you tonight, I want to bring somebody who had a belief, who had a success story, who had a relationship with his mind, his body, and soul, and went past the triumphs of what people told them that he could not do. So what I want you to do today, because he did this for a favor to me, because I want to localize the success stories you see. Many times we look at the celebrities on TV that never stop at your graduation, never stop at your birthday. But tonight we have someone locally that stopped by to share a story. I want us to give a big round of applause and sit up to listen to his story, because it's something that could change your life forever. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to the podium Mr. Thomas Johnson. Let's give him a Cobra round of applause. All right, we're going to try that again, because that was LeBron James or somebody giving y'all money, it'll be louder. So I'm going to try it again. I'm going to give you a 2-hour speech like we were in an auditorium before COVID. I bring to the podium Mr. Thomas Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Griffin. On this side, so it's closer to the students. I want to be close to you all. I wish we were closer, that I can get in the zone. But I'm not in the zone yet, but it will come. I want to thank our board members, our distinguished guests. I want to thank our school guidance. And as you'll hear later, unfortunately, for my life, I didn't always have much love for counselors. I was busy working to make all graduations happen for Broward County. We have 45 graduations, and my job was just to park cars. So as I was parking cars, Mr. Griffin texted me, and he said, "Hit me." What does hit me mean, right? Give him a call. I call him. He says, "I'm working on my speech." I said, "Okay, I can handle that, because I'm a speech writer." I want y'all to catch that now. I can handle that because I am a speech writer. I finished my military career as a speech writer for the Secretary of the Army, Department of Defense, the Honorable Donald H. Rumsfeld. That ain't much to talk about, right? Ain't much to clap about either. But I was discovered in An-Najaf, Iraq, as I deployed my team to conduct information operations and PSYOPs to defeat the enemy by press conferences. Not much to talk about. How did I get there? Why am I here? I'm very proud of our valedictorians. I'm proud of all that you've accomplished and all that you've achieved. I'm proud of all the students that have worked hard and diligently to get to this point. That you have something to offer and something to strive for and something to go for once you graduate. But why am I here? And what's this story that Mr. Griffin wants me to tell you? Okay, here we go. When he called me, I said, what would I talk about? And I thought about President Obama and his book, The Audacity of Hope. President Obama wrote that book based on what he had heard in a sermon. His pastor wrote a sermon based on a painting that he had seen, and the painting is called Hope. I have a very different opinion of hope. As I researched the word hope through Google, right? That's what everybody uses, right? Google. The definition of hope: to want something to happen, a feeling of expectation, a desire for a certain thing. Let me say that again. To want something to happen, a feeling of expectation, a desire for a certain thing. When President Obama spoke about hope, he was talking about the collective community coming together to achieve a goal, one specific goal of a democracy for the people of our nation. Being that I spent time in Iraq in information operations, I had to teach the Iraqi government what a democracy was. Let's say it again. I had to teach the Iraqi government of what a democracy was and is. For in the Middle East, it's not about Democrat or Republican. It's about your religion. And you don't just change your religion with the tide, how you feel, when you feel, where you feel it. A democracy is based on truth. But in the Middle East, the truth is my religion. So I found myself trying to teach a democracy to people who did not believe in what we call democracy and what we know democracy to be, the three branches of government. I don't know how I summoned the knowledge to explain that. There's nothing in my history that will tell you that I knew what a democracy was until I got on that ground and I explained it to the sheikh who was waiting for me to explain how can they get their government to have a successful election. How now can someone from America tell someone else how to have a successful election when we have not achieved it ourselves? Again, how did I do that? I did that because I have a different opinion of the word hope. Because hope had never done anything for me. When I hoped for something all my life, it depended on what someone else thought of me. It depended on what mood they were in that day and how they felt when they felt, whether to move my life forward or hold me back. And so what happened in my life, my story is I was held back. And the hope that I hoped to achieve was zero, because a counselor sat me down with a teacher and they gave me a test. I'm in the 3rd grade. You know how we boys act when we act in elementary school. It's just who we are. That's just what we do. While I love my valedictorians, I love my honor societies, I love all the STEM programs, I love all the great things that we're doing in education, but what about us? What about the 1.9 GPA? What about the 2.0? What about the one that's looking at that word and can't see or understand what it means? We are here. But hope can't do nothing for me. So when they brought me in that room, that counselor and that teacher, and they said, we're going to determine whether you should be in ESC or you should be in the rest of the population. You need to spell the word if. You need to spell the word of. I could not spell those words. Is that my fault? Or is it the educator's fault? How dare you give me a test and don't teach me what's on the test? But you expect me to spell if and you expect me to spell of. That was the beginning of my life as I knew it, depending on the word hope. So I want you all to take a ride with me tonight. I want you to ride with me as I rode all those years, all the way from elementary to high school, all the way to graduation, and I had never, ever felt a regular class. I had never been in a regular English class. I had never been in a regular math class. I don't know what STEM is, but I'm a speechwriter now. So we're going to take this ride. And I want you to understand what it feels like, because I know you know. When you're riding in the school bus to school, right? And you're looking out the window and you're seeing this thing called hope. When I grow up, I'm going to get that house right there. When I grow up, I'm going to have that car right there. All these visions of what I'm going to do when I do what I do. But I want you to take a ride with me on my bus, because this is the bus that I had to ride all the way through school since that day when they told me to spell the word if and spell the word of. Y'all ready to ride with me? Let's ride. Let's ride, baby, let's ride. So all through school, I rode the short bus. Y'all know about the short bus, don't you?
Yes, yes.
I was on row number 3. I love row number 3. You know why I love row number 3? Because row number 2 on the other side had Deborah. Ooh, if I could sit close to Deborah. I ain't know better, but I knew Deborah was pretty. So I rode the short bus. While riding the short bus, every summer, my sister and I had to ride the short bus to summer school. We're the only ones in the neighborhood in the morning that have to get on that short bus while everybody else is outside hunting birds and fishing. They're not only hunting birds and fishing, they playing kickball. But we had to get on that short bus. And as that short bus rolled down the street, everybody laughed. Look at Tommy on that short bus all summer long. We get home at 12 o'clock, everybody outside playing. We jump off the bus and we get on the team. But everybody saw us on that short bus, riding the short bus. Now, I want my people, because I know you out here, to ride with me. Don't get quiet if you rode the short bus, because I'm going to give you a solution to riding on the short bus. And the solution I'm going to give you is, instead of having the audacity of hope, have the audacity of Thomas. See, I gave up hope and I picked up Thomas. So let me tell you how Thomas came about. While riding on the short bus, day in and day out, from 3rd grade all the way up to the 8th grade. Now I managed to get through that. How, I don't know. 9th grade comes. I'm in the 9th grade now. Ooh, things are changing at Dillard High School. I'm now at Dillard High School. But lo and behold, they got 007. Y'all know what 007 is? 007 is that hallway where all the special kids go down. So what me and my friends used to do, instead of going to 007 on the front side, we go to 007 on the back side. Now, y'all can tell me where it's at Boyd Anderson. See, I was not in the class with everybody that you didn't know if they was ESC or not. They didn't know if you was high functioning or low functioning. I was in the classes with everybody that you knew we had a disability. But everybody didn't understand, nor did they want to understand what a disability was. So I had to figure out how I'm going to manipulate this ESC thing in high school with this word hope. So the straw that broke the camel's back. I'm in the shop class. And our first project was to make something out of wood. Now, my mother had this thing called a whatnot shelf. Y'all know what a whatnot shelf is? You put a whatnot, she got these little trinkets and things, she put it on that shelf. I wanted my mama to have a whatnot shelf. So I thought I made something beautiful for my mother. So what had happened was, when it came time to get the grade for our project, I presented my project to the teacher. The teacher took my project. And he said, son, this ain't nothing but a piece of wood. This ain't nothing but a piece of wood. That broke me. I went home and I cried because I could not present that piece of wood to my mother. So let me help you with another word called audacity. Audacity, according to Google, a willingness to take bold risk, rude or disrespectful behavior. Say it again now. A willingness to take bold risk, rude or disrespectful behavior. So what I became to understand was somebody confused my enthusiasm to be bold with my inability to read and write. So at that time, I stopped riding the bus and I ran to school every morning from Lauderdale Manors to Dillon High School from 9th grade all the way to my senior year. My senior year, I became a state champion in track and field. My senior year, Florida State University came to recruit Gregory Green. I said to the coach, what about me? He said, what about you? I said, don't you know? Here I am with my audacity now. Because it's the audacity of Thomas, not the audacity of hope. Because if I had hope the coach was coming to see me, he wasn't going to see me. So my audacious attitude said to him, what about me? He said, who are you? I said, I am the greatest athlete to ever walk the face of this earth. See, y'all ain't clapping for me. So that means somebody's embarrassed about who they are and they still dependent on hope. Hope is gone. You have to have you to succeed in what you want to succeed through an audacious attitude to believe in you. I began to believe in me, so I would practice as hard as anybody in the world. So in my senior yearbook, I wrote, I will go to college. I will get a degree. I will make the Olympic team. And I will become the world's fastest human being. Now you tell me which one I did not accomplish. Go ahead. Let's hope for the right answer. So how now, Brown Cow, can a man who's been told he's less than nothing become the world's fastest human being? That be me. You don't know that because nobody here in Broward County has said, where is Thomas Johnson? Because I'm forgotten. Why? I don't know. Maybe perhaps I had a low GPA. Maybe perhaps I was not in the honor society. Maybe perhaps I was in STEM material. But guess what? The audacity of Thomas said that yes, I can, and yes, I will. I broke the world record my sophomore year at Florida State University. At that point, I traveled the world. The university flew me wherever there was competition. I ran and I ran. I beat everybody in the world. I came back, and Deion Sanders and I, as we sat in the athletic department to read our transcripts, it said academic dismissal. I spent more time running than I did in the classroom. But what I discovered, I wasn't in real classes anyway because I wasn't prepared for it. Remember, I had not seen a regular class. So I left school, came back home, and someone had the wisdom to say, go back to Tallahassee. I went back to Tallahassee, and I joined the Army. And in the Army is where I was discovered. Now let me tell you how God works. Drill sergeant comes to me, and he says, the sports director wants to see you. I said, why? Why you want to see me? He says, come and see. So I go see the sports director. They make a phone call to Washington, D.C. The sports director of the Department of Defense says, we want you to run track for the Army. I said, no, thank you. I've been down that road before. I'm going to believe in Thomas, and I'm going to learn this skill so that I can be employable in the world. They said, okay, where do you want to train for the Olympic Games? I said, you going to give me a choice of where I can go? I said, oh, I'll go wherever the Army sends me. They send me to San Francisco, California. I get there, and y'all don't know who these people are. And I meet Charlie Green and John Carlos, 1968 Olympians, the first guys that rose the fist in civil rights. So from that point on, I was mentored by John Carlos and coached by Charlie Green, people who had been banned from the Olympics for protesting for civil rights. So while I'm in practice, I'm learning everything there is to learn about civil rights and the cause. I ran fast enough to say to the Army, if you want me to stay in, let me go to school at night. If you want me to stay in, let me change my job from logistics to signal, because I knew AT&T was hiring back here at home. So I wanted to get a skill set. So in getting that skill set, the Army said, well, we have this program where you can get out and go back to school and get your degree. Well, when I left Florida State, I had a 1.3 GPA. In order for me to get back into school, I took classes at night, and I built my GPA up to 3.85. The University of Mississippi, Ole Miss, offered me a scholarship 100%. That 3.8 with that 1.3 made my GPA 2.05, just enough to get back in school. What I'm saying to you all, never give up on you. Always have the audacity to believe in you, no matter your station in life, no matter who's saying it, no matter where they're saying it, no matter when they're saying it. Always have the audacity of Thomas. Always have the audacity of Derek. Always have the audacity of Erica. Always have the audacity of Michelle, because you can never deny your own self of what you want to be and become in life. I was a speechwriter for the only African-American female general in the Army. And she said to me, Thomas, you know it's going to be a heavy 2 months. We have Black History Month and we have Women's History Month. So I need my speeches ready to go. So to this day, if you give me something to write, it might take me 30 minutes. Depends on what you want, how you want to hear it, what you want to hear about. I can get it done. Where did that come from? It didn't come from hope. Because hope taught me if I gave my life to someone else to determine my fate, where would Thomas be? I ran myself into history as the world's fastest man. I came back home in hopes of telling you all that you could do the same thing, because I taught in high school. I'm an educator. How now can an educator who can't read and write teach others to read and write? The audacity of Thomas. I'll leave you with one more thing. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. Never doubt yourself. If you fail, get up and try again. I failed at Florida State, but I got up and I went after it again. I came back home and retired from the United States Army after 23 years of service. I retired from the Pentagon after they offered me a promotion. I couldn't go higher because the position at the White House was already taken. The only other position that I could take was in Afghanistan. That wasn't happening. The person that took that position, I found, I went back to the Pentagon last year and I met that person. She's a one-star general. Had I stayed in the Army, I would be a one-star general. The guy who could not spell if or of. I challenge everyone to pursue you. Never give up on you. If you are my people up there and you know who you are, if you struggled through an exam, if you struggled through that math or reading or writing test, don't give up on you. I charge you, find me. Touch the hem of my garment, because I believe all things can be accomplished through a belief in God and a belief in oneself. Get off the bus and run to greatness.
Oh, now I want y'all to stand up and give a standing ovation. I didn't have to pay for that speech.
I am in 2 Hall of Famers. Nobody know that. They go right there.
And yeah, she wanted to let you know that he's an Adidas 2013 Hall of Fame and Florida Track and Field for the Florida Track and Field Hall of Fame. Let's give Thomas a big round of applause for stopping by to share his story. See, Dr. Osgood had to find somebody that was going to energize the crowd better than you. Listen, before we move on to our next segment, we would like to honor 2 members from the class of 2021 who are not here with us today. Video.
Though I'm missing you, although I miss, I'll find a way to get through. I'll find a way. Living without you, 'cause you were my sister, my strength, and my pride. Only God may know why. Still, I will get by. Who would have known that you'd have to go so suddenly, so fast?
Eric, they came out of the ground. Eric, they
How could it be that our sweet memories would be all that we have left?
Once a Cobra, always a Cobra. Krista McLeod and Erica Mobley were esteemed members of our school community. We will recognize each of them and present their families with an honorary Boyd H. Anderson High School diploma and tassel. Accepting for Krista McLeod is her mother, Juliet Treasure, and family friend, Rosetta Mighty. Accepting for Eric Mobley, his mother, Kiona McCullough.
Please welcome to the podium Ms. Angela Andrade, our school counseling director, and esteemed 12th grade counselor. She will present the top 10% of the class.
The students being recognized this evening have maintained a GPA that places them in the top 10% of the graduating class of 2021. In order for every family to be able to hear the name of their graduate called, please hold all applause until the last name is pronounced. Students, as your name is called, rise, acknowledge the audience, and then be seated. Angel Alleman, Amelia Brown, Santika Chevelon, Antoine Clouden, Tejana Cole, Jamelia Dawkins, Odina DeLuz, Robert Doctor, Marth Dorsenat, Mildred Ducton, Tahira Franklin, Peter Shea Fuller, Gemma Guerriere, Nikki Henry, Adele Jean-Louise, Wayne Jean, Jayla Johnson, Catherine Lopez, John Lopez, Ashley Lewis, Charlie Martinez Labra, Chiquita McCall, Sharon Michelle, Emanuela Moise, Tuang Nugent, Amani Parkinson, Rosivette Populaire, Pavline Philippe, Miles Rattray, Deontay Reed, Ariel Smeekle, Ralph Valsin, Abriana Virgo, Taylor Walker, and last but not least, Sayla Wilson. Congratulations to the top 10%. At this time, I would like to welcome to the podium Ms. Hasmary Zapata, the senior class sponsor.
Good evening, parents, faculty, staff, and graduates of the class of 2021. My name is Hasmary Zapata, and I've had the pleasure of teaching our seniors for the Economics and U.S. Government class this year. I have also had the pleasure of being the senior class sponsor for the 2021 school year. Today, I am here to introduce Marthe Dorsenat. I can speak on Ms. Dorsenat's accolades: 4.3 GPA, accepted into the University of Florida, president of SGA, international baccalaureate student, member of Solfege Overload, etc., etc., etc. But I would like to focus your attention on who she is as a person. When I told her about the barriers that we would face in holding senior events through a pandemic, Marthe looked at me with the most serious face and said, "LOL, but we are going to make this a great year regardless." That speaks to the essence of who she is and what she is about. She did not hesitate to jump in and brainstorm ideas for safe and socially distanced events. She encouraged SGA participation in support of Senior Week, maintained the senior class Instagram because you know how essential it is in our world today, and helped with the planning and execution of senior celebration. Ms. Dorsenat is an emboldened leader, an empathetic friend, a dedicated scholar, an awesome sister, and a beloved daughter. Parents, you have done your job very well. Will the parents and guests of Marthe Dorsenat please stand to be recognized? Ladies and gentlemen, here to address the class of 2021, I introduce our 2020-2021 senior class president, Ms. Marthe Dorsenat.
I would like to definitely thank Ms. Zapata for addressing me tonight. That was very heartfelt, very sweet, made me feel very special. But before I begin, I definitely have to say good evening and welcome. Friends, family, our staff, our faculty, our esteemed guests. Give another round of applause for Mr. Thomas, who gave us that amazing speech. And of course, the illustrious class of 2021. Class of 2021, say yo! All right, so as she said, I am Marthe Dorsenat. I stand before you as acting senior class president and student government president. I know that sounds like a lot. I am a try-hard. But before I begin, I definitely want everybody, the parents and graduates, to stand up and give themselves a round of applause. Graduates, stand up, give yourself a round of applause. Yes. Having to spend our entire senior year basically online was definitely tough, but you guys are resilient because we made it here to this very moment where we're standing right now. This speech really shouldn't be too much about me, but I do have some thank yous I have to say. First, I have to thank the man upstairs, God, because if it wasn't for him, I would not be able to stand up here and talk to you guys. I'm already shaking, and I can't even stop. Okay. Then I would like to thank my parents, because they definitely led me to be the person I am right now. They educated me, taught me the right ways, and because of them, I'm able to stand here before you. I would like to thank my mini-me who is watching me at home, my sister, because she's already been through this, so she's the person I went to for a lot of my advice. I also have to have a tremendous thank you to the teachers. I think all of us should give our teachers a round of applause. I know that this year has been hard for the students, but it definitely has been hard for the teachers. They had to come up with creative ways, different ways to teach us, to help us learn, and they definitely don't get enough credit for that. The teachers I would like to thank personally are Miss Yezdemir, which a lot of you guys know her. I have to thank Miss Suclau, Miss Toussaint, and Miss Duperval. They definitely kept me on the right track and helped me when I needed it. To begin, it's very ironic that many of us were clowning class of 2020 because they had to do their senior year online, and unfortunately, we were the sequel. We were part 2. Basically, I know that despite that we didn't get the senior year that we wanted, we definitely didn't get our prom, our grad bash, all of those spectacular events that we would have wanted, but through Ms. Zapata and the amazing senior class, we definitely did pull off some events. We had our senior social celebration, we had our senior parade, and a different load of things that helped us to be able to get the senior year that we wanted. But even though we didn't get to experience the senior year, we definitely cannot forget about the year that we were able to experience. Coming into Boyd Anderson, August 2017, which was a long time ago, as a little freshman, we remember all of the things that we experienced, our first parades, our first pep rallies, our first football games, basketball games, the whole 9. And definitely through those experiences, we became resilient. We were able to keep pushing. A lot of us this year probably wanted to fail. We probably didn't want to keep going. Online class must have been so hard, having to log in every morning at 7:40. I know myself, I logged in at 8:30 because I don't wake up on time. A lot of us are definitely guilty of being the last person in class for a couple hours because we fell asleep. Y'all know who y'all are? Y'all ain't slow. Anyways, through all of that, we've grown. A lot of us have created our own businesses. Shout out to all the Black-owned businesses that are standing up there, you know, purchase their merch. All of the people who own a business, stand up, because you know y'all got some business owners up there. Let's clap it up for all the people who making businesses. Say, let's stand up. All the people who got a business. But yeah, a lot of us made businesses, found ways to invest, be financially free, and through all of that, we have to say we really did that. It's really hard to do all that. Okay, but to get to the serious note, a lot of us who came to senior social remember that we did have a woman by the Vice Mayor Denise Grant. She did say a couple of things that stuck with me that definitely were inspirational. One of the things she said was, don't die full. And that's not even in the sense of death, but in the sense of living everyday life. You don't want to go through any time, any minute, any hour full. You want to be empty. Like Principal Griffin told us about that breakdown of our 24 hours, one thing that we all get that's fair is we all get 24 hours. No matter your color, your gender, we all get 24 hours. And it matters in that 24 hours what you do. And if you give it your all every day, you will regret nothing. And as he said, have the audacity of Thomas. Every day, believe in yourself. Do you, and only you. And to continue, I know that I myself have done my part and definitely maximized on my time. That's why I'm, you know, highly decorated, swagged out. But I don't want to say all that to toot my own horn or to sound like I'm better than anybody, because at the end of the day, I'm just like each and every one of you guys sitting down. Only difference between maybe you and I is I maximize my time. So when you guys step out of this stadium tonight, wherever you guys may go, colleges, businesses, armies, drafted, wherever you guys end up going, make sure that every minute you're there to take the time and maximize it. Invest in yourself, do things that will make you coming out looking like this. Even if it's lame or if people say you have no life, at the end of the day, those who do the most work definitely will bear the fruit of their labor. Nothing will ever go unsaid, and although you do things and no one says, oh wow, good job, because you did that. Oh wow, good job, let me give you an award. Just know that in your heart you did what you did to make sure that you kept on pushing. And as I come to a close, I just had something on my heart that I had to do. After that video that was played, made by our wonderful students at Boyd Anderson who put that video together, I can't help but to imagine the heart of the families who are missing their graduates who should be up here, the friends who are missing their graduates that should be up here. I definitely want us at this moment to have a moment of silence for the graduates that were able to be here, whether they're Cobras, whether they're not Cobras, because I know at other schools there are graduations happening where their students unfortunately passed away and they weren't able to be here. And so I just want us to have a moment of silence to remember them, bring them into this moment, because just as much as we're standing here graduating, they deserve to be here too. Thank you. And yeah, give a round of applause. And before I finish, I just want you guys to take this one quote, is that you're a star. I know that that's pretty cliche, but for a star to be formed, a nebula must collapse. And I know if you don't know too much about the way the galaxies form, you're probably confused. But I say all that to say that in order for us to take that journey to become the stars that we want to be, it's okay. You'll have issues, you'll have downfalls, you'll have trials and tribulations that you go through along the way. But that isn't your downfall, that's just your journey to becoming a star. None of us are gonna get to where we are without having anything hard. No successful person has gotten successful without getting any backlash, without any fail. So then again, I just want you all to congratulate yourselves. And one more time, class of 2021, say yo. And give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you. Please join me in welcoming Miss Reese to the podium. She is going to introduce our senior class salutatorian.
Thanks, Mark. That's good. Good job. Thank you, Mark. Greetings, graduates, families, school board members, and guests. My name is Alex Reese, and I'm one of the assistant principals at Boyd Anderson High School. I have the pleasure of introducing the salutatorian for the graduating class of 2021. This young woman has a passion for mathematics. She aspires to be a structural engineer after seeing the plethora of awards and accolades she earned last week at Senior Awards Night. I am confident that she will achieve anything she sets her mind to. After all, it's evident that this scholar values hard work and dedication. Our salutatorian has a passion for music as well. She was in band all 4 years, practicing and playing her flute. She and I share a love of music and mathematics. In both fields, we know that practice is essential to success. On this day, as you all begin your journey into adulthood, I share this reminder. Life, like mathematics, is about the journey. As we strive towards solving our problem and arriving at an answer, see the barriers or obstacles that we face along the way as opportunities for growth. In math, as in life, we are bound to make mistakes, but as we know better, we do better. Take time to enjoy the journey, the practice, because in life, it's all practice. As an IB student, our salutatorian boasts a GPA as high as 5.082. Woo. We know she never shies away from hard work. This young scholar plans to attend Florida International University this fall to study engineering. Would the proud parents, siblings, and family members of our salutatorian, Selah Wilson, please rise and be recognized. Once again, please allow me to introduce Boyd H. Anderson High School's salutatorian for the class of 2021, Selah Wilson.
Good evening, family, friends, faculty, and staff, and of course, Boyd H. Anderson High School class of 2021. Tonight, we are gathered here to celebrate the academic milestone we've eagerly awaited since kindergarten, graduation. It is my honor to be the class of 2021 salutatorian. This means I earned the second highest GPA in our graduating class, but it also means I couldn't beat Jayla Johnson. However, when I think about it, there have been many obstacles we have beaten or overcome in life, but particularly since our junior year. Let's reflect for a moment on our lives before the masks, toilet tissue shortage, blinged out visors, and of course the drive-by honk and wave celebrations. In March of 2020, we left the school under the impression that we would return after a week, only to then learn spring break would evolve into a permanent break from face-to-face learning for the remainder of the school year. Most of us could remember being extra happy about that. No more waking up at the crack of dawn to catch the school bus, no more going to 4 classes every day, no more cafeteria food, but perhaps the best perk of them all, school in our pajamas. However, as the pandemic raged on and trickled into the summer, we were informed that we would be starting our senior year online. COVID-19, which seemingly appeared out of nowhere, was still changing life as we knew it, but at first we were unfazed. In fact, many of us made light of this by posting first day pictures of ourselves on TikTok or Instagram, sitting next to our computers showcasing our new pajamas. Yet, as time flew by, what once seemed like perks did not seem so appealing. To be perfectly honest, this school year has been a roller coaster of emotions. Sadly, the global pandemic robbed us of doing some of the main things that we claim to hate, but deep down inside we missed. Nonetheless, one thing about this class is we still made a way to have fun and, most importantly, be resilient. Even though today, our graduation day, may be our first time seeing each other after more than a year, we've all connected through these experiences. Our parents, mentors, and teachers have tried to motivate us countless times by saying things such as, "I know it must be hard, keep working on it. I can't imagine how hard it is for this year's seniors." I felt like I heard those words 1,000 times. Regardless of how annoying it was to hear them say it over and over again, we did get through it, we made it, we uplifted each other, and we beat the odds. Going into the last few weeks of school, when I found out I had to give a speech as a salutatorian, it seemed easy for me. I've been writing essays all year, what's one more? What I failed to realize is I'm going to be giving it in front of 300 plus people, and it had to be something memorable but inspirational, and I couldn't use Google this time. Again, I was faced with an obstacle that I had to beat. To help me overcome this challenge, I thought about when I was a freshman, just entering into high school, and all the anxiety I had built up. I can speak for all of us when I say it was nothing like High School Musical with people jumping on tables dancing. However, here I stand before you, not dancing or singing, but overcoming my fear. To my fellow graduates, I leave you with some advice that I hope will inspire you all. First, understanding that turning your tassel is only the beginning of your next step in life. Look at what you've already accomplished. You are resilient, so you can't give up or get comfortable now. You must pursue your goals and aspirations and be committed to achieving them. Next, be careful of the association you keep. A scripture from the Bible that's always stuck with me is 1 Corinthians 15:33, which says, "Do not be misled, bad association spoils useful habits." This simply means the useful qualities you have may be spoiled because of the people you hang around. You may not be as determined to fulfill your goals when you hang around people without goals. Finally, a strong support system. The support system should be one that can celebrate when you're doing something right, but also correct you if you're doing something wrong. I would not have been able to get through these past 4 years without the support and help from my family. I was involved in multiple extracurricular activities, which are marching band, National Honor Society, IB Envoy, and SGA. It required me to stay after school till 5 to 6 o'clock on most days. As a result, my family had to adjust their busy schedules to be able to pick me up or drive me to school at the designated times. I'm grateful that they understood that the participation in these activities allowed me to get comfortable at Boyd H. Anderson and become more of an outgoing person. I would like to say thank you to my family for their selfless sacrifices. I would like to say thank you to my mom for leaving work early to come and pick me up countless times, even when I forgot to tell her I had to stay after school. I would like to thank my father for supporting me in everything I've done and supporting all my club dues financially. Thank you to my grandparents for also picking me up and ensuring I was picked up from school on time when my mom couldn't. I can't forget my multiple aunts and uncles supporting me from the sidelines, wishing me the best. I would also like to thank my teachers for encouraging me to do my best because there were times where I was really unmotivated. They pushed me and kept me on my feet. I'm sure you all have a couple teachers that did the same for you. Many of you would not be here now if it wasn't for a teacher. In closing, class of 2021, you are more than a conqueror. There is nothing that can stop you except you. I urge you to use this year as a reminder that you could do anything you put your mind to when you work hard to achieve your goals. Congratulations to the class of 2021. You made it despite all the odds pinned against you. May the odds forever be in your favor. At this time, please welcome Ms. Linda Lopez to the podium to introduce the senior class valedictorian.
Good evening. My name is Linda Lopez, and I have the honor of being the 12th grade assistant principal. This evening, I'm privileged to introduce this year's class valedictorian, Jayla Johnson. With a 5.16 GPA, there is no question this year's valedictorian is an academic all-star. From conquering all the requirements of our rigorous international baccalaureate program to dominating the stage, acting, singing, and dancing, there is no doubt Jayla's diverse talents and creativity will continue to lead her to success in the future. In addition to her strength in academics, the thing that sticks out most about Jayla is her personality, lively and energetic. Jayla brings joy and laughter to any activity she partakes in. She is a known leader to her peers, having served as President of National Honor Society, First Vice President of Student Government Association, and historian of our inaugural Interclub Council. In her many leadership roles, Jayla conducts meetings and activities in a way that makes everyone feel welcomed and valued as a member of the team. Outside of her school environment, Jayla is also an accomplished dancer who hopes to expand her talents to become a concert and commercial performer. Now, after hearing all about her activities and accomplishments, you wouldn't think she has any spare time. However, when she does, she enjoys singing and dancing. Above all her success, Jayla's primary focus is her unwavering faith in God and being a positive role model to her younger siblings. She pours herself into everything she does, working to excel no matter what task is in front of her. Jayla will continue on the road to greatness as she attends the University of Central Florida while pursuing a degree in filmmaking. We are so excited to see where her path will lead and look forward to celebrating her success in the future. With the proud parents, family members, and guests of our valedictorian, Jayla Johnson, please rise so you can be recognized. Once again, it is with great pride that I introduce Boyd H. Anderson High School's valedictorian for the class of 2021, Jayla Johnson.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to thank God for allowing us to be here today. I'd like to thank every single person that works at Boyd H. Anderson High School, from the administrators to the teachers, custodians, cafeteria staff, and faculty members. On behalf of the class of 2021, I would like to thank everyone's family. Graduates, be sure to thank y'all family. We know that without their support and love, none of this would have been possible. Speaking of thanking family, I would like to thank mine while I'm at it. Hey, Mother, thank you. I love you. Thank you, Granny Mom. Thank you, siblings. And last but not least, thank you to all of my thousands of great aunts, uncles, and cousins. Finally, I would like to thank my friends and peers who have encouraged me to continue to strive for excellence. I am the valedictorian of Boyd H. Anderson's graduating class of 2021 because I attained the highest GPA out of our entire senior class. But if I can be transparent for a moment, I would not stand here and say to you that I worked the hardest out of everyone here, and that's why I earned this title, because that would not be true. We all have worked hard. Having to attend school virtually since the last quarter of 11th grade year until the end of our 12th grade year was at times mentally challenging and emotionally draining for most of us. Just like you, I started to lose focus and motivation. School became somewhat of a chore, one that I did not want to do, such as washing the dishes. I don't know who liked washing the dishes. I also was completely over logging onto Teams. But despite all of this, we stand here together now with the skills to overcome anything thrown at us. I started to give up, I lost motivation, but I got back up and pushed to the end. We all did. We made it to the first building block of our life. So many people have quit, but you kept going and reached a goal that many students never achieve. Be proud of yourself. Take a moment to be grateful for being able to make this far. And yes, although I say this far, it is not over. We are graduating high school. You still have more days ahead of you. Moreover, if you're not sure what those days are going to look like, that's okay. Here are some tips that I'll pass on to you that helped and enabled me to have a successful senior year despite the limitations of remote learning. My hope is that you can personally utilize some of this advice today and in the future as you transition from high school to college or an immediate entry-level career. First, set goals and accomplish them. There will be hardships that might not allow us to reach our goals. For example, I'm sure it was somebody's goal other than me to become valedictorian. But perhaps personal and pandemic-related challenges made it difficult for them to reach their goal. But please do not let that get you down. My advice to you is to keep going, because that's all you can do. We will all experience hardships and troubles in this life. So, will we simply sit and stress over how we were not able to accomplish our goal? No. Instead, set a new one. Nothing beats failure but a try. That person in the crowd who wanted to become valedictorian, set the goal of becoming valedictorian in college, if you're going to college. If you're not, set the goal of being the leader that made the most positive impact on the people that surround them. Set more goals and keep going. Second, don't give up. Since a new phase of our life is just beginning, we cannot afford to give up. Not after surviving this pandemic. In this year of virtual school, I know for a fact that most of us procrastinated as if there was no tomorrow. For some of us, it probably became a new habit. It's time to get serious because we aren't just graduating high school. We are starting our life outside of our guardians' homes. We are independently taking on life. We cannot allow procrastination to become a stumbling block for us. Well, how do I stop procrastinating, Jayla? The answer is just do it. Like the Nike ad said. Yep. Yes, it sounds simple, but as I said earlier, we cannot allow troubles to get in our way. We will sabotage not just ourselves and our future, but the investment our families have poured into us thus far. Third, we need to keep a strong mind and stay determined or motivated. This is where I now give credit to Ms. Yezdemir for stressing the importance of knowing your why. Why are you trying to accomplish your goal? What is it that you look forward to after achieving it? If you always know your why and keep that reason in mind, you'll be able to just do it. As we continue in life, we cannot allow stumbling blocks such as procrastination to affect us. And one way to do that is to use our why as our determination to just do it. It got rough for all of us, but we were able to make it here. We can keep going. I'm going to mention a quote that was once said by a great man, teacher, choir director, Mr. New. I don't really care if you can sing. What I care about is the person you become and if you take the lessons you've learned and apply them to your life. If I could say how I became valedictorian, it would be because I always did my best. Well, not always, but most of the time. As I said earlier, it is not because I worked the hardest out of everyone here. I just gave it my all, and that's it. That's the secret to my success. If you haven't been listening this entire time, please take these next lines with you forever. Keep going, which I've said multiple times in this speech. You are capable of doing wonderful things. I know that there is potential in each of you. All right, let me stop. Y'all probably just like, who mom is this? Hello. But seriously, knowing your why and keeping a strong but open mind will help you tremendously. But I mean, what do I know? I'm just like y'all. Ecclesiastes 8:15 states, "So I recommend having fun, because there is nothing better for people in this world than to eat, drink, and enjoy life. That way, they will experience some happiness along with the hard work God gives them under the sun." As my peer Alexander said a few weeks ago, we about to be here all night if Jayla's giving a speech. So let me conclude. We are quite literally the strongest and best class ever known. We had it the worst, no offense, teachers, but we still made it. Allow that to empower you to keep going and be the best that you can be. Congratulations, graduates. Have an amazing, safe night. I will sincerely pray that you all keep going, which I have said numerous times in this speech. Thank you, everyone.
I have some good news and I have some bad news. The good news is we only have one more speech left. Or I didn't do my speech and that could be a second speech. So the good news is you only have one more speech left. The bad news is we don't clap loud when she comes to the stage. She won't certify your diploma, and we came here for nothing. So ladies and gentlemen, you're about to hear a phenomenal speaker that have come and spoken from the pulpit to graduation stages, who have gone through life and pulled up the bootstraps and have earned a master's and a doctorate degree. She has run for the school board of Broward County for several terms. She's my mentor, she's my friend, and she has outspoken me at every graduation she has attended me on the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present to you no other than the one and the only Dr. Rosalind Osgood.
Good evening. I am the proud school board member that represents District 5. In District 5, we do have the audacity to do what has never done before. I hope y'all heard these graduates when they celebrate their business ownership, their entrepreneur skills, and that's just half of it. In District 5, there was a decision made about a year ago, a little over a year ago, when the former principal of Boyd Anderson, Mr. Almazar, retired, and he was doing a remarkable job. And some interesting lady had this idea about taking this brilliant young man who was the principal at a neighborhood middle school and making him the principal of Boyd Anderson. And after having a conversation with the superintendent and Dr. Wanza, who supervises the principals, in this whole adaptive problem-solving process, it was agreed upon that Mr. James Griffin would be the new principal of Boyd H. Anderson High School. Let me translate. We leveled up Boyd Anderson a year ago. Thank you, Mr. Griffin, for accepting the challenge, for doing what has never been done before. Can you guys stand to your feet? I'm gonna break the rules right here, but I need you to get up and get jiggy with it for just one moment and celebrate your principal tonight. Yeah. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Little louder. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Cobras. I knew you would have my back. As I heard Mr. Thomas give his powerful testimony tonight, I thought about how important it is for us to build our narrative power, to have the capacity to tell our own story and define life in life terms. Mr. Thomas, what race did you run?
It was the 500-meter indoor. That was the world record. The 400-meter and 800-meter was my Olympic goal.
Okay, so he said he ran the 400-meter and 800-meter in the Olympics. And those are races where you literally have to sprint the whole time. In order to be effective, you have to prepare. And all the speeches that we heard tonight, they were so eloquent and they gave you some life tips. I'm not gonna hold you long, but I wanna make 2 points. As you go through life, you must begin now to embrace the reality that there will be disappointments, there will be failures, there will be tears, there will be people that you thought were with you that are not. As you build your narrative power, you must also build your relationship power. And you can always be your best when you learn the power of forgiveness. And it is not easy, but it is a life skill that will help you move through life with less stress, without a lot of burdens, is the power of forgiveness. And how you easily can embrace the power of forgiveness is understand that every day, none of us do what's right all the time. None of us say what's right all the time. We all have failures. We all have disappointments, but we get up and we try again. And just like you want another opportunity or another chance, you have to be willing to give the next person the other chance. And that is truly how we live, understanding the grace and mercy that God gives us every day. And finally, I want to tell you to raise your voice loud vocally, but also raise your voice loud with your vote. You must register and you must vote. A part of your civic responsibility is to vote. Now, normally right here, me and Mr. Griffin is at odds because he's pulling for the Golden State Warriors and LeBron James. I'll be honest, I used to like LeBron when he played for the Heat because he was a part of the triple threat with Wade and Bosh. But sometimes I get a little aggravated when people used to refer to LeBron as the greatest basketball player that ever lived. I'm a Michael Jordan girl, and I think that Michael Jordan was the greatest basketball player that ever lived. But because I'm a leader and I have flexibility and I learn as we see people do different things, LeBron leveled up with me this year because he dared to do what has never been done before. As a professional athlete, he took his personal money and started schools and began to invest in the education in the life of our children. So as you are moving through life, don't forget about those that are less fortunate. Go back to your hometown, come back to this community, and use some of your success to be a blessing for the next generation. Now, I know the game is going on now, and I admit I was a 76er fan for a long time, and now I'm a Heat fan, so I'm not really per se rooting for a particular team. But I am rooting for our graduates this year who showed us not only could they survive in a pandemic, but they could thrive in a pandemic. And when life forces you to pivot, you have to be willing to pivot and then do an extra move and move forward. As an awesome post player and graduate from Fort Lauderdale High School, I learned the importance of being able to pivot in the post. I was always tall and skinny, so most people that played the post was always larger than I was. But if I could get in the post and pivot and use the secret weapon, which was the end of this little skinny elbow, I can always clear a way to the goal. So your secret weapon is the knowledge that you have in your mind, the dream that's in your heart, the passion that fuels you every day. And it's oftentimes the thing that nobody else will understand why you're so driven to achieve that purpose. You may share it with others and they may not understand it. As Mr. Thomas told you earlier, you have to have the audacity to believe in you, and every now and then you have to pivot and throw an elbow and take the shot. God bless you.
Wow, Doc, you did that. I don't see your speech in here. You did that from your, oh, what? All from the mind. That's what I'm talking about. Well, I'm going to read this part. I'm going to read this part. Dr. Osgood, addressing you in your official capacity as a member of the School Board of Broward County, Florida. As the principal of Boyd H. Anderson High School, I certify that the graduates whose names will be announced have successfully completed the course of study as prescribed by the Florida State Board of Education and the School Board of Broward County. Dr. Osgood, I present to you the class of 2021.
Thank you, Mr. Griffin. It is with delight, by the power given to me from the state of Florida, and as the representative of the Broward County School Board, I certify that all of the students presented to me tonight have met the qualifications for graduation of the state of Florida and the Broward County School Board. Congratulations, class of 2021.
Thank you, Dr. Osgood. At this time, students on stage, please return to your seats with your fellow graduates. Hey, they ready. They are ready. I now invite the staff and honored guests to please take their positions for the presentation of diplomas. All right. I am proud to present and recognize our 2021 graduates. Let us now begin the roll call.
Sit right here. I need the card. Orly Acevedo de la Cruz. Lud Ejusma. Merlene Alcima. Angel Alleman. Natalie Alexis. Ajani Allen. Cristorno Alphonse. Alexander Alvarado. Brianna Anderson. Max Andre. Alexi Arrington. Katria Arthur. John Augustin. Kendra Augustin. Florisan-Joie Averilian. Kensani Bailey. DeAndre Benton. Jerry Baptiste. Golanda Baptiste. Abiel Belazer. Wood Beauplan. Kenita Bernard. Keyshawn Black. Dana Boswell. Angel Bradford. Aiden Brissett. Rogine Brooks. Amelia Brown. Jaden Brown. Jason Brutus. Jonathan Brutus. Tavares Burrows. Gregory Bird. Markevius Camillus. Aaron Campbell. Ralph Conjay. Kenvinique Cash. Lenise Celestin. Arioli Zapata. Who are you? Vanessa Chambers. Walter Chandler. Akila Chang. Tarmisha Charles. Richard Sherifant. Karen Chevelon. Santika Chevelon. Denicia Christie. Avalee Chung. Courtney Clark. Antoine Clouden. Theranisha Cochran. Tejana Cole. Klexamilia Compare. Milamika Compare. Daniel Daly. Kamar DaCosta. Dave Dodge. Renee Davis. Janaya Davis. Jamelia Dawkins. Ricky Decembre. Elena Decius. Alexis Delancey. Christ Darrell Desir. Odina DeLuz. Nikali Despinas. Brianna Denai. Hannah Derstel. Eli Doctor. Robert Doctor. Matterson Dominique. Juliana Dorsey. Marth Dorsenat. Christ Dorgill. Stanley DeBrew. Mildred Ducton. Jamilson Doogie. Eddie Dumel. Tabrice Dulcio. Unique Edwards. Dejanay Engram. Kenny Ermat. Oyara Escobar. Nia Etienne. Rashawn Etienne. Jeremiah Eugene. Joel Felder. Kalia Fletcher. Nahum Floridor. Tanisha Florinard. Jontasia Fluker. Henley Forrest. Deborah Foy. Jemiah Francis. Audrin Francois. Tahira Franklin. Alexander Frater. Fredleen Frederick. Betsy Frutzer Munoz. Peter Shea Fuller. Sharice Gale. Ayana Georges. Bernicia German. Kenardo Goburn. Tamitra Francois. Daquan Goff. Jeterica Graham. Randeel Graham, Janique Grant, Marvin Green, Gemma Guerrier, Sanaya Green, Shadrach Gustav, Cristal Gutierrez Bernal, Traquan Green, Damian Hall, Zechariah Hagritt, Rasani Hastings, Marquino Houghton, Shamari Houghton, Simone Henry, Jodianne Hibbert, Ayante Hicks, Talon Hill, Rivaldo Hinkson, Patrick Harris, Jeffy Hysons, Jakivia Ida, Louis Innocent Jean, Roderick Isaac, Anala Isham, Andre Jackson, David Jackson, Danae Jacobs, Eldwis Jean, Marilyn Jean, Quentin Jean, Rosanika Jean, Wayne Jean, Goodner Jean-Francois, Lisa Jean-Jacques, Rocher Jean-Louis, Adele Jean-Louis, Feline Jean-Louis, Jones Jean-Louis, Celine Jean-Michel, Cameron Jefferson, Shenadine Joseph, Cornaya Johnson, Jayla Johnson, Kaiwan Johnson,
Ray J. Johnson, Molly Jones, Kenesha Joseph, Naika Joseph, Ruji Joseph, Taisha Joseph, Javaris Just, Jazaria Kegler, Kalisha Kelly, Tyler Knight, Claire Lambert, Alvins Lazaire, Alexis Lewis, Alexandre Lewis, Jonathan Lebecca. Catherine Lopez. Lavmika Petit. John Lopez. Ashley Lewis. Mackinlove Lewis. Sydney Lewis. Stevens Lewis. Stevens Lewis John. Winsky Lewis John. Marquise Herman. Herman Marquise. Rafaela Marone. Bernasia Marks. Kelly Marshall. Charlie Martinez Labra. Cambria Mash. Jerry Maxinov. Chiquita McCall. Robert McCall. Kalia McCoy. Kyra McDonald. Tanila Medwinton. Noya Metayer. Sharon Michael. Michelle. Ross Milholm. Darius Miller. Emanuela Moise. Pierre Moise. Michaelia Morgan. Dominique Marshall. Aymara Moxie. Priyanka Nareen. Loon Noel. Kinson Nelson. Lugina Nariston. Thuong Nguyen. Janaya Noel. Curvins Noel. Farah Nordalis. Leonard Obin Nyarko. Lordy Octavian. Natalie Omega. Dayan O'Neill. Dunel Osier. Oshani Palmer. Joshua Parnham Glaze. Kadeen Parks. Amani Parkinson. Nernaya Paul. Rosivette Paul Pierre. Tashay Petty. Dariani Pena. Brian Peterson. Kedron Osborne. Ralph Fesian. Pauline Philippe. Jonathan Fallow-Jean. Chidley Pierre-Louis. Cedric Polycarp. Joshua Porter. Mark Power. Kamitri Price. Ariana Pitter. Miles Rattray. Norquan Reeves. Deontay Reed. Tyre Reed. Akeen Ridley. Peyton Rivers. Alex Roberts. Dane Roberts. Tabitha Robinson. Hensley Rojas. Joshua Roll. Destiny Russell. Kanisha St. Mark. Kianzi St. Till. Stefan St. Till. Travis Samuels. Takori Sanchez. Charity Savage. Oh, sorry. Demesia C. Say. Jadis Sejor. Matthew Similian. Kavani Simmons. Zaria Small. Ariel Smichael. Tremaine Smith. Lorenzo St. Cyr. Marvin St. Cyr. Jamesia Staniford. Nigel Steele. Genesis Stephen. Michaelia Stewart. Shaquana Stewart. Deandra Stokes. Ashanti Stubbs. Ladisha Tennant. Ann Thiano. Marvin Thurville. Anoy J. Thomas. Wise Timoleon. Marie Trenard. Rolf Valsine. Kaisha Bassel. Antavia Burgess. Jasmine Verne. Marcus Vernellis. Rickson Vertenord. Shanice Vertenord. Darren Valentine. Diego Villasmil. Ashley Villegas. Vieli Vinagre. Wesley Vincent. Abriana Virgo. Taylor Walker. Shakira Ward. Keith Ware. Larat Honorat. David Washington. Franco Webb. Keyshawn White. Antonari Williams. Chris Williams. Kenneth Williams. Charvey Williams. Tariq Williams. Torianne Williams. Sayla Wilson. Shanice Wilson. Janasia Ring. Juliana Yaboa. Lisette Yero. And last but not least, Dylan Young.
Graduates, you have endured 4 years of hard work. It's finally the end. But it's also the beginning of your future. You have become triple threats: intelligent, sophisticated, and successful. Always remember to be you. No one can beat you at being you. Look to your left and then to your right. Here sits next to you students that have overcome every obstacle they face to reach this milestone. With a lot of perseverance, you all have made it, and we are proud of your accomplishments. Before we pronounce the class of 2021, I'd be remiss if I don't ask a mentor and a personal friend to come drop a word of nuggets. The one and only Dr. Valerie Wanza.
I know y'all ready to go home. Exactly. I just have two things to say. I'm proud of you, and I love you. And to this crowd over here, thank you for trusting us with them for the past 12 to 13 years. Class of 2021, remember, you come from good stock. Go out in the world, represent yourselves, your family, and this community well. God bless you.
Todd LePace, throw your hand up. Alumni of BA is here in the house. My boss, the one and only Todd LePace. At this time, I pronounce the class of 2021 official graduates of Boyd H. Anderson High School. Hey, y'all like the light show? They saved the best for last, the class of 2021. And I bring back to you the senior class president, Martha Dorsonet. Martha. You don't say it? Let's say it together. Let's say it together.
Okay.
I bring back to you the senior class president.
Mart Dorsenite.
Ah, look at that.
All right. Are you guys ready? Y'all ready? All right. So, let's go. Okay. Graduates, please rise. Y'all can pull out y'all phones. I know this is gonna be an Instagram-worthy moment. All right. Make sure your tassels are on the right now. Make sure y'all tassels on the right. Okay. Anyways, it is now time for us to move our tassels as an indication of our achievement and official graduation status. Fellow classmates, you may now clutch this tassel. I want to see everybody clutching their tassel. And I want you to turn this tassel from the right to the left. Woo! Because class of 2021, you are now official graduates and members of our Boyd H. Anderson alumni class of 2020. Say yo! All right, thank you.
Right. Distinguished guests, teachers, staff, families, and class of 2021. Thank you for a wonderful evening. Please direct your attention to our music instructor, Mr. New, and the chorus as they lead us in singing the Boyd H. Anderson alma mater. The words are on the last page of the program. Please rise and join us in singing our alma mater.
We
Thank you for attending today's graduation. Parents and guests, please wait outside Gate 1 near the fan zone for your graduate. Graduates will exit on the east side of the stadium and will meet you outside Gate 1 near the fan zone. We respectfully ask you to exit the property in a timely manner. Thank you.